YouTube land, blog land, wherever you're finding this at. I'm Helen Hart-Smith, and welcome to my second ever in front of the camera video. I wanted to talk to you today. I'm going to try to keep this brief. There's two topics that I want to talk about, and so I'll start with one, and if I feel like the video is getting too long, I'll cut it off and then I'll do a second one. But the two topics that I would like to talk about today are recycling and cruelty-free products. So I thought that I would start my story with recycling and why I have started recycling in my home. If you've excuse me, if you've read any of my blog postings, you'll know that I have a roommate. I sometimes refer to her as the roomie or the muggle. She is not Wiccan. She is spiritual in her own way, but she isn't like a regular churchgoer or anything like that. So I tend to refer to her as the roomie or the muggle, so you know who I'm talking about when I say that. We have been recycling in our house for the past, I would say, 6 months or so. I had a journey. Let's start with what got me into recycling. I had a journey that a shamanic meditational journey that I took as part of an assignment for my third year with Christopher Penzak's Mystery School. And the third year deals with shamanic practices, getting medicine for healing for yourself and for others and things of that nature. And one of the exercises that I had to do was making contact with the spirit of the earth, Mother Earth. So I did this journey and I connected with her, and I've connected with her in the past, and by her I mean Gaia, Mother Nature, the spirit of this planet that we live on. And in this journey, she comes to me as a beautiful young woman with long flowing hair and generally long flowing either a dress or a skirt. Okay, so in this journey, I saw her, and she's barefoot, and it's usually like a tank style dress, so you see her arms and things of that nature. So I noticed right away that one of her arms was blackened and just very rotted looking, something straight out of, like a zombie movie or something of that nature. And as she walked, I noticed that I think it was her left side. So the left arm, the left leg was also blackened and withered and things of that nature. And so, of course, I was alarmed and asked, what is this? And basically what she told me was that, this is the effects of what happens when she isn't respected, when her resources are stripped, when her waters are polluted, and things like that. And so she's basically dying. And we've, as a society, I think we've seen and known about things like global warming and things like that for years. I remember growing up in the 80s. Yes, I'm totally dating myself, but I remember growing up in the 80s with concerns, for global warming and things like that. And it's really coming to a head. And so this journey was kind of really eye-opening for me. And I started thinking about, well, okay, what can I do to help this process? And I realized and I've kind of thought about this for a while. I've realized that as a society, we are consumers. Okay? You know, when I think about, packaged foods that are in individual sizes or individual portions and stuff like that, yeah, it makes it really easy, but it also creates a bunch more junk that's just going to go sit in a landfill. And how is that good for Mother Nature? And so I've really been thinking about being a conscientious consumer. That's what it boils down to for me. I started looking into recycling programs, and unfortunately, my town does not have one. So that was really sad to find out. So I started looking at some surrounding cities and stuff like that, and I live about 45 minutes away from the capital of the state of Michigan, which is Lansing, Michigan. And so I know some people that live there. Actually, one of my coven sisters lives in Lansing. And so I found out that they have a recycling program, and they basically take everything. I mean, they'll take tin foil, they'll take clear glass, they'll take plastics, all kinds of things, newspapers, magazines. And so I talked to her about the program and basically kind of asked her, well, do you mind if I send something home with you? Because as a coven, we get together every other week and we do a study together. And so I saw her in some shape, whether, because we rotate whose house we come to. So I was either going to see her or I was going to be at her house. So could I give you my recycling and add it to yours? And she said, of course. And so we started off by doing that. I would take a bag, like we have paper bags from grocery shopping and things like that. So I would fill that with recyclables that they would take and take it over to her house, and she would just add it with her things from her house. And so that was nice and handy. But then, we missed a couple of weeks or whatever, and things started to stockpile up and things of that nature. So what we've kind of been doing lately, the roomie's mom lives in Lansing, so and we're in Lansing quite often. We found out that they have a drop-off center. There's actually a place where you can drive up, and there's these huge garbage gondolas, and you have to separate your stuff, so tin cans together, plastics together. I think milk jugs even have like their own separate gondola. So you can drive up there and just doop, 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 make your donations, and then off you go. I don't know if it's really a donation, but your drop-off, so let's call it that. So we've been doing that, so we let it kind of grow so that we have a small house, so there's not a lot of room to store a lot of this, type of thing. But we have our baggies, and she'll haul them up, take them out, drop them off. And so I feel like that's kind of a start in making things better. And it might seem like a small step, but it's a step. It's the first step. And that kind of goes into the next topic that I wanted to talk about. But I think we're at almost 9 minutes here with this video, so I think I will cut it off there. But before I go, let's talk. I want to hear down below what you do. Do you recycle? Do you recycle in your town? If you don't recycle, have you ever thought about it? All those kinds of things. Make a comment about what you think. I would also love to hear if anyone has been involved in the movement to start a recycling in their town, because since there isn't recycling offered in my hometown, I'm kind of interested in looking at how do you get the ball rolling, so that we don't have to truck something out of town. Because, if we could get it picked up with our regular garbage or whatever, or had a donation spot here in town, of course, that would be handier. So if anybody's been involved in something like that, please make a comment, because what's the first step? So, thank Thank you for tuning in for this video. I appreciate your viewership. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. So, thank you for walking this path for a little bit for me. And until next time, blessed be.